Hello everyone, this is Vijayta, Associate Professor from the Department of ECE, MLR Institute of Technology. In this video, I would like to talk on a stable multivibrator from linear and digital integrated circuits. So here, what is the operation of a stable multivibrator and the circuit diagram and timing pulse of an stable multivibrator? Analysis of a stable multivibrator, how to find out the time period and as well as duty cycle for a stable multivibrator, a simple problem and a single application for a stable multivibrator we are going to be discussed in this video. So here in the dotted square box, the circuit which is there in the dotted box is a simple 555 timer IC internal circuit diagram. External parts are RA, RB and C. The external parts are RA, RB and C. Only these three external parts have been connected to the internal circuit of a 555 timer here. Here, the same thing, the comparator. Here we are using two comparators, one RS flip-flop and one power amplifier. If the voltage across the positive terminal is just above the 2/3 VCC, the output of the comparator will be 1 here. If the output voltage across the positive terminal of a lower comparator is just above, this will be 1/3 VCC because it has been connected here, and here if the input voltage to a lower comparator, that is trigger voltage, is less than 1/3 VCC, then it produces an output of 1. Then the lower comparator produces output of 1. The voltage across the negative terminal of upper comparator will be 2/3 VCC and the voltage across the positive terminal of a lower comparator will be 1/3 VCC. Based on the voltages across the positive terminal of upper comparator and the voltage across the negative terminal of lower comparator, the operation of RS flip-flop is going to be done. And based on the output of the RS flip-flop, the Q1 either connects directly to a discharge path or it will be in a off state. Same example, if I am considering the negative triggering pulse have been applied at the terminal 2, so I am assuming a negative voltage have been applied across the terminal 2. The voltage across the positive terminal of a lower comparator will be high and it produces an output of 1, which will be sets the flip-flop. So Q will be equals to 1, Q bar will be equals to 0 and the output will be equals to 1, and Q will be working as an on switch and your capacitor, discharging path will be finding in this way, and the capacitor will be charges through a resistor RA and RB here when this voltage is just above the 2/3 voltage. When the voltage across this pin is just above the 2/3 VCC, then the upper comparator will be set, that is R is equals to 1. So RS flip-flop will be gone to a 0 and Q bar will produce as a 1 and output will be producing 0, and this transistor will be in a on state and it finds a discharging path directly to this part. Okay. So this is the operation of a stable multi-vibrator. So here you will be having three external components, which are 2 resistors and 1 capacitor. The capacitor charges to RA and RB towards the C and discharges only to a RB. The same have been explained here. In 555 timer, a stable circuit, pin 2 and pin 6 are connected together, allowing a circuit to re-trigger itself on each and every cycle, allowing to operate as a free running oscillator. This stable is also called as a free running oscillator because the pin 2 and pin 6 are connected together, allowing a circuit to re-trigger itself on each and every cycle. It charges towards the plus VCC and again it discharges towards the minus VCC. So it always re-triggers itself between pin 2 and pin 6. So this is also called as a free running oscillator. During each cycle, the capacitor C charges up through both the timing resistors RA and RB, but discharges itself through a resistor RB as the other side of RB is connected to a discharging terminal of a pin 7. The capacitor charges up to 2/3 VCC through both resistors RA and RB, which is determined as a 0.693 R1 plus R2 RA into RB, RA plus RB into C, which we'll see how this timing circuit have been, timing analysis have been done. And when it is discharging, it is given as 0.693 RB into C. These two equations we'll be seeing in the next slides. So, this is a 555 timer IC where it is connected with the components as usual, but pin 6 and pin 7 are connected with the RB and RA is connected to VCC and C is connected to a ground. Only these three are the external elements which have been connected to the 555 timer IC. And this is an, we know that the output of a 555 timer will be a pulse. It is producing a pulse. When your output is changing from 0 to 1, the capacitor is charging towards the 2/3 VCC. When it is moving from 1 to 0, it discharges towards the minus VCC. Just now what we have discussed here. It always triggers from 0 to 2/3 VCC and from 2/3 VCC to 1/3 VCC and again from 1/3 VCC to 2/3 VCC based on the voltage which you are giving across the transistor. The output of the RS flip-flop again connected to output voltage, output terminal. The output terminal produces a square wave, which is not square wave, which is producing a pulse. And based on the output voltage, when it is moving from 0 to 1, then the voltage across the capacitor charges from 1/3 VCC to 2/3 VCC through RA and RB. And when the output voltage is moving from 1 to 0, the capacitor C discharges from 2/3 VCC to 1/3 VCC. So, this goes on happening based on the output of a RF flip-flop, or we can say the output of a 555 timer. So, at time t is equals to, see, initially it charges from 1/3 VCC to 2/3 VCC and again discharges from 2/3 VCC to 1/3 VCC. So, at time t1, when it is moving from 0 to 2/3 VCC, the voltage across the capacitor can determine VC is equals to VCC into 1 minus e power minus t by RC. At time t1, it is moving towards the 2/3 VCC. So, voltage across the capacitor is 2/3 VCC is equals to VCC into 1 minus e power minus t1 by RC. At time t1, this will be the equation. So, if you can solve this, you will be getting t1 is equals to 1.098 RC. So, like 2/3 VCC is equals to VCC minus VCC into e power minus t1 by RC. So, if we can take VCC common, 2/3 VCC minus 1. So, it will be minus 1 by 3 VCC is equals to minus VCC e power minus t1 by RC. So, these two will cancels out and you will be getting it as a minus 1 by 3 is equals to e power minus t by RC, where you can write as minus t is equals to 1 by 3 log RC. And at time t is equals to T2, that is when it is moving from 0 to 1/3 VCC, the voltage across the VC is 1/3 VCC and this VCC into 1 minus e power minus T1 by RC. So, with this expression, you can determine T2 is equals to 0.405 RC. So, the complete T on time will be given, see, when it is reaching from 2/3 VCC and it is 1/3 VCC. So, this T2 minus T1, T1 minus T2 will be a on time. So, you can write 1.098 RC minus 0.405 RC. So, you can get 0.963 RC. So, the T on time will be given as 0.693 into the R value is nothing but RA plus RB into C. This is a on time of a stable. So, this is an on time. So, this is an on time, that is T on is equals to 0.693 into RA plus RB into C, which is an on time for a stable multivibrator. Next, to determine the off time can be done when it is moving from a 2/3 VCC to 1/3 VCC. So, the voltage across the capacitor now will be 1/3 VCC. Initial voltage will be 2/3 VCC. So, this is VC is equals to VCC into e power minus T by RC. This is voltage across the capacitor when it is reaching from 2/3 VCC to 1/3 VCC. This voltage across the capacitor stays at 1/3 VCC, but the initial VCC which is moving from 2/3 VCC. So, in place of VCC, you will be writing it as a 2/3 VCC e power minus T by RC. So, if you can solve this expression, we will be getting T is equals to 0.693 RC. The discharging can be done with a single resistor which is RB, whereas charging can be done by both RA and RB. That is the reason why there for on time I have given 0.693 into RA plus RB into C. Here the discharging is going to be done only with the resistor RB. So T off time will be given as 0.693 into RB into C. So the total time period will be calculated as T on plus T off. So T on is 0.693 into RA plus RB into C, and T off time is 0.693 RB into C. If you can add these two equations, the total time period is given as 0.693 into RA plus 2RB into C. And to determine the frequency, we know that F is equals to 1 by T. So 1 by 0.693 into RA plus 2RB into C, where 1 by 0.693 is given as 1.45 divided by RA plus 2RB into C. So this is a frequency of an astable multivibrator. And coming to duty cycle, the definition of the duty cycle is nothing but T on by on time by total time period into 100 is given as a duty cycle definition. Or you can also take T off by T into 100%. So when you are taking T on by T into 100%, where T on is given as 0.693 into RA plus T on RA plus RB into C, and total time period is given as 0.693 into RA plus 2RB into C into 100%. So this can be cancelled out and you will be getting as a duty cycle as RA plus RB divided by RA plus 2RB into 100%. This is the formula for duty cycle. Now we will see how to design a stable multivibrator when they have given a duty cycle as well as they have given a time period. On time period, this T on time period is given as 1 millisecond. So we know that duty cycle is 20% they have given. So we know the formula duty cycle D is equals to T on by total time period into 100%, but we didn't know the total time period here. We know only the on time period. That's why I have taken D is equals to T on by T on plus T off into 100%. Duty cycle is given as 20%, which we have written as 20 by 100. And T on time is 1 millisecond, that is 1 into 10 power of minus 3 divided by T on plus T off is equals to, we know the frequency. So, okay, from this equation, we can find out like T on plus T off is equals to this 0, 2, 1, 5. So, T on plus T off can be given as 5 milliseconds. If you can calculate this equation, we can know the total time period is 5 milliseconds. So, if you want to find out the frequency of an oscillation, F is equals to 1 by T. So, F is equals to 1 by T, F is equals to 1 by 5 milliseconds, which we can get as a 200 Hertz. So, the frequency of oscillation is determined by using these two equations, duty cycle equation, also the frequency in terms of time period equation. So, we got frequency of oscillation as 200 Hertz. And this is another problem to determine RA and RB values. So, design an stable multivibrator using a 555 timer with a frequency and the duty cycle and also given capacitor value as 0.1 microseconds. So, we know the formulas as usual. T on time period is 0.693 into RA plus RB into C1, and off time we know that 0.693 into RB into C1. And we know that T total time period is summation of T on plus T off, which is given with this 0.693 into RA plus 2RB into C1. And duty cycle, we know that T on by T, which you can get as RA plus RB into RA plus 2RB. So, the duty cycle value they have given as 70%, which is given as 7 by 100, which is 7 by 10. So, you can get the equation in terms of RA and RB here. So, if you can calculate, we will be getting RA is equals to 4 by 3 RB. And we know the time period T is equals to period of oscillation. T is equals to period of oscillation is given as 0.693 into RA plus 2RB into C. So, if you can substitute RA and RB value, you can get the time period. So, from this, they have given time period also. So, you can find out RB. And if you know the RB, from this equation, you can calculate RA. This period of oscillation. The period of oscillation is given as T is equals to 0.693 into RA plus 2RB into C. you know RA in terms of RB, substitute here, so that you will be getting T. You know the T value, and you can find out the RB, C value given, T value given, so you can determine RB. And if you know the RB, by using this equation, you can calculate RA, which will be approximately equals to 6.8 kilo ohms. So this is the procedure how to calculate the resistors and capacitors for a stable multivibrator when they have given a frequency of oscillation as well as duty cycle of a stable multivibrator. And one of the application for a stable multivibrator is Schmitt trigger, where you have connected with the equal resistance value here, which divides the voltage across the capacitor equally, so that the on time and off time for this will be equal. So it produces an output of square wave signal. So here in this video, we learnt the operation of a stable and how to determine the duty cycle and also time period for an unstable, and problem on a stable multivibrator to calculate the resistor and capacitor values by giving a duty cycle and time period. And we also determine how to find out the time period when they have given a duty cycle. And we have seen one application which is used as a Schmitt trigger by using a stable multivibrator. Thank you.